Welcome to Free to Cook. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to make my version of the ultimate steak sandwich. This is an absolutely crazy steak sandwich. It's a mix of the classic picnic layered sandwich and a steak sandwich. There's a lot going into this sandwich, but all the flavors combine to make one of the most delicious sandwiches out there. To start off with, we need to season our two 1/2 inch steaks. I'm using G-Fresh's barbecue grinder seasoning, but you can use whatever flavored steak rub you like. Season both sides. Next, slice one whole onion into strips. I've got my kettle barbecue ready to go for direct grilling. Place the two steaks on the grill. My favorite charcoal has to be clean heat charcoal. It burns hot and burns for a really long time. Turn over the steak to sear the other side. Once you've seared both sides, take them off the heat and let them cool. Next, place a cast iron pan over the coals to heat up. Add one knob of butter. You can also use oil if you like. Place your onions into the pan and begin to cook them down. Once the onions have started to become translucent, add a tablespoon of brown sugar. This will help caramelize the onions. Remove the onions once they've cooked through and caramelized. Then fry 4 pieces of bacon. I'm using hickory smoked bacon. The bacon is looking nice and crispy. Time to take it off and let it cool. For the bread, you'll need a cob loaf or any large round roll. Cut off the top of the loaf. Next, remove most of the middle. Make sure to keep the soft bread because it makes great breadcrumbs. Now it's time to start layering this sandwich. Lay out the first piece of steak. You may have to pull it apart so it makes a complete single layer. Then a layer of caramelized onions. It's important to keep each layer as even as possible. That's followed by a layer of Swiss cheese. I'm using pre-sliced cheese, so you'll have to break it up to make one full layer. Okay guys, I'll try and make this look 1% healthier by adding a layer of spinach leaves. Next, a layer of sun-dried tomatoes. You can use fresh, but I like the spiciness and richness you get from sun-dried tomatoes. Then a layer of hot salami. A couple teaspoons of full-grain mustard. You can't forget the bacon. Another layer of Swiss cheese. I'm promising guys, I'm nearly done. Then your second steak. To finish it off, spoon over some tomato relish. Place the top part of the bread back on top. Now that's one full sandwich. Wrap the sandwich in alfoil. Then we want to compress all these layers of flavor together by placing something heavy on top. I'm using a cast iron pan. Let the sandwich compress for at least an hour, if not overnight in the fridge. Once the sandwich has had some time to compress, all that's left to do is to warm it through. I've got the leftover coals from earlier, but you can also use the oven at about 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius. After about half an hour, the sandwich should be nicely heated through. Remove the sandwich from the alfoil and let it sit for 5 minutes so the cheese can settle. All that's left to do is to slice it open. That is looking incredible. There you have it, my ultimate steak sandwich. You can see all those different delicious layers throughout the sandwich. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments for the overcooked steak, which can be avoided by using thicker steak, but the steak in my sandwich is perfectly tender. Each mouthful of this sandwich, you get the combined flavors of each layer, which tastes incredible. The best part about this recipe is you can use whatever ingredients you like in this sandwich. Let me know what ingredients you'd use by commenting below. If you found this recipe helpful, don't forget to share it, subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and if you have any recipe suggestions, leave them in the comments.